Guys, how's it going? Joe here. I've got this amazing program to show you called 3D LUT Creator Professional. It's essentially a program which does a hell of a lot of cool stuff, and I'm going to break it down into a couple of videos for you to show you what it can do and why I think you should own it. First things first, coolest feature ever is basically the ability to take two images and match the colors between those two images. So what that means from me to you, in short, you can take one of your images and you can make it look like one of your favorite movies. Just let that sink in for a second. How awesome is that? So here's what we're going to do. I have this image here, and what we'll do is we'll open 3D LUT Creator, and my image is already in here, but what you would originally do is click Image from Photoshop, and that would just import the image for you. Sometimes it takes a little while, maybe like 30 seconds, or sometimes it's 3 seconds. I think it depends whether it's first loaded or whether you've done it before. But in short, what we can then do is we can go to Google, we can type in Grand Budapest Hotel, just as an example. Go to images, and the key here is you have to pick an image which is similar to the one you're trying to tone. Otherwise, you're asking it to do the impossible. However, this right here, this is pretty similar, right? So, let's take the image, right click, copy the image, go into 3D LUT, and go to edit, and we can paste the image as a reference. So if you press equals, you can swap between the reference and I forget what it's called. The reference and the original. So if you then go to auto match colors to reference, you can also press Control or Command M to get to this. And you open it up. You have this dialog box pop up. So allow me to run you through this. At first you're like, well, that looks nothing like that. I agree. Here's why. The first thing you need to do is take your degrade reference image, and you need to degrade it by 100%. And what that will do is remove the grading to make it a neutral image. And the reason you want it to do that is because our image isn't toned. So we need the reference image and our image to look as closely as possible for them to be able to change the colors from one image to the other one. So once we've done that, I've found the degrade method here. I don't know what these do, and the guy who created this, Oleg, he said don't really worry about it, just kind of click through them and see which works best for you. I've found so far that min, max, average seems to work quite well. So all of these things here, all of them pretty much, there may be one or two, I'm very new to the program, but there may be one or two that scale past 100%. RGB grading scales to 200%, so you need to be careful there. You only ever really want to go to the middle. But what we're doing here, this is a match kind of algorithm. So what that means is saturation to 100% would be matching the saturation between our image and the reference image 100%. We're not turning saturation up, so to speak. So what that means is, if we wanted this to be, if say for example our reference image was black and white, what it means is if we turn saturation up to 100, that would be matching our image to the black and white image 100%, i.e. our image would go black and white. I hope that makes sense. So first things first here, in a perfect world, our reference image would be identical to the image that we've taken ourselves, which means we could scale all of these to 100% to match it to that image 100%. However, our image was a little bit warmer than the kind of degraded one that we have here, so you can see it's going to be too orange. So in short, what we want to do is take your saturation, and we don't need it to be that saturated, so let's turn it down somewhat. And then the luminance, let's have a look which looks better. Okay, so that's the contrast. It's quite flat in the background because there's these bright lights here, and we don't have any bright lights in our image. So if we turn luminance up, it's going to take the brightest point, which is this button, etc., and it's going to match it to this light. Whereas because we don't have a light, it doesn't make any sense. So if we turn luminance off, we're only worried about matching, the colors pretty much, because our luminance, i.e. the brightness or whatever is pretty similar. So then you've got this hue as well, so we can turn this down. We can scale it up until it looks about right. I mean, this looks pretty similar around here to me. And then these ones here, range and area, again, you can just tweak these to see which gives you the best results. I mean, for me, this is changing the shadows and not, so I'll probably leave the area down because this doesn't have toned shadows. And then the range, just see which works better. Nope. And upfold seems to work better, but the face is a little bit red, so maybe I'll bring this down just a touch. Okay, so this looks remarkably similar already, and to kind of show you that, click OK. What we can do is hit equals to swap between the two. And it's like, that's really scarily close already. And that, like, if I didn't have to explain it all and, you know, we just went through and did that, that's just like 30 seconds work. So the before and after, we've just graded our image from this to this without even having to touch anything except sliders. So that's crazy. That's really, really crazy. And to check the before and after, what you can actually do is either hold space and click, or you can press backspace, which is next to Z and Shift. So then when you're done, you would just click LUT to Photoshop down the bottom, and it would bring it over to Photoshop for you. And then just make sure you rename it. Otherwise, if you do any other work and you click it again in the same file, it will overwrite it and you'll lose it. So there you go. We just color toned an image without touching anything except a few sliders. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. So just keep in mind, you need to pick an image, a reference image, which is similar to the one that you've already got. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So keep that in mind when you're shooting your kind of original footage, or, you know, your images, because what 3D LUT actually allows you to do is to load images and save the 3D LUTs out. So you can take your video footage, you can take a still from it, you can load the image in, and then you can edit it to grade it exactly like another movie you like, and then you can just save the 3D LUT out and then go back into your video program and you can load that LUT. Nuts. So that's it. Quick tip down. I hope this helps you get experimenting with some crazy stuff out there, and have a wonderful rest of your week and a kick-ass weekend. I'll see you again soon, guys. Bye.